Hi everyone, I'm Shaylin here with Reedsy. So today I'm just going to be running through 5 really easy character development tips to help you develop richer characters. Creating rich, complex characters is a primary goal for many writers in many works, but it can also be one of the more challenging aspects of writing because it is probably the most intricate. After all, human psychology can go to basically endless depths of complexity, which is what makes it so fun to write about, but can also make it very complex and intricate and nuanced to learn. So here are 5 character development tips that you can use to unlock some more nuance and complexity in your characters. Tip number 1, give the characters quirks that have depth. When giving your character quirky traits, you want to give them quirks that actually reveal something about their character and their personality, rather than simply being quirky for the sake of it. Let's say your character has the strange quirk of tying everything they own to their clothing. So they tie their wallet to their clothing, they tie their phone, their keys, so as they're walking around, all their stuff is literally tied to them. Now that's a bit strange, right? And I don't know why that's the example that first came into my mind, because I have never met someone who does that. But let's say that you decide to give that quirk to your character. If there's no reason behind it, and it can seem like it's trying a little too hard, but maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe they lost a very important family heirloom and they were berated for it endlessly by their parents. Well, now they may have a very deep fear of losing things. Use quirks to reveal character rather than tacking them onto a character without any deeper thought. Tip number 2, give them skills and interests. Most people have skills and interests, so it's not only just kind of a general quality that most people have, but skills and interests can be a great way to pierce deeper into a character's psychology. They're kind of like windows that we can use to get deeper into a character. Why have they developed this skill? Why do they have this interest? Why is this thing so compelling to them? Those are really interesting questions to ask. They can reveal interesting things about backstory and psychology. These are concrete things about your character that develop their world, but also can give you insight into their psychology and backstory. Step number 3, develop their external world. Develop the world around your character. What does their home look like? What do they tend to wear? What do they look like? What are their mannerisms? Fleshing out your character's external world will, just like developing their skills and interests, give you deeper insight into who they are as a person. The space we occupy, the way we present ourselves can be very revealing things, and especially if you do this with intention, like I mentioned about giving a character quirks, they can become very interesting and revealing traits for a character rather than being merely set dressing. A character's appearance is sometimes overlooked as unimportant. I think a character's appearance can actually be a really important character building tool. The eye color you were born with may say nothing about your personality, but the way you dress, the way you style yourself, the way you present yourself, your mannerisms, your facial expressions, these things can speak hugely to a character. So I think that a character description is actually a fantastic character building tool rather than one to be overlooked. Step number 4, weave together their internal and external conflicts. We are often told to give characters both internal and external conflicts, but usually the deepest character development comes from when those conflicts are able to weave together. So the internal conflict and the external conflict maybe have a push and pull where they can only have one, or the internal conflict is a manifestation of the external conflict. Weaving these things together is usually how you get the most interesting, rounded sense of conflict in a story, which will also be the most revealing for who your character is. This is also how you create the most compelling character arcs, because as the story and conflict develops and changes, this will cause internal change for your character as well, as their internal conflict develops alongside the external conflict. And finally, tip number 5, develop their relationships. You can learn a lot about a character from how they relate to other people, and the relationships characters have with others speak very deeply to their internal character as well. Character development doesn't just happen in a vacuum, it's also a sum of all the relationships and interactions they have with other characters. So develop the bonds they have with other people, the conflicts they have with other people, the various relationships in their life, and that will teach you a lot about your character as an individual. So those are just 5 character development tips that you can use to create more complex characters. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos from us. We've got new writing, editing, and publishing tips every Friday on this channel. Until next time, bye.